Hello everyone. This is your next theory class. Whole, half and quarter rests. But let's correct the work from last class, which was time signature and note values. So the number one, you were supposed to just add notes together, and how many beats they were worth which gave you a total was your answer. The first one was given to you. Number two was 2 beats. Then let me just write it down here. 2, then 3, then next answer was 4, then 3, then 5, then 6, and then 8. So hopefully you got that. Okay. Second exercise was to, first of all, draw bar lines, and a double bar line stems from the following example. Okay, so you were given this rhythm at the start, a 4/4, and you were given these, that. Yep. Then I'm gonna put that, and that. Then I'm actually running out of space, so I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to continue on from down here. That. Followed by that and that. You're also given a bunch of numbers from 1 to 4 repeating, okay? Which I won't do just yet. So all you had to do was add bar lines where appropriate, wherever it was after the 4th beat. So this is worth 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could have put a bar line after that. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 is after that, because that's 2 beats plus 1 plus 1. Then 2 plus 2 is a bar line as well. Just pretend that's a bar line. So that's a bar line after these 2 minims. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. We got another bar line. And then 2 plus 2 equals 4, making it a bar line there. Double bar line. All right. So that was number 2. Number 3 said to write a time signature and filling the missing beats, if any, by adding only 1 note per measure. Count and clap, etc. if needed. Now, I'll give you the whole answer and you just double check if you got it. All right. So let me go back to putting these. And watch the stems placed as well. So you had to put a 4/4 time signature. So hopefully you've done that. Give yourself a tick there. Then you were given a bunch of notes that were missing. So here are the notes given and the missing ones. Okay? So that was your first bar. So put a bar line after that. Then here. Okay, that's the answer to the second bar. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see there's 4 of those. All right, and you had to have put a bar line there. Okay, pretending that bit at the end is a bar line. I'm going to go to the next line just for space reasons. Then you got this. 4 beats, therefore bar line. Then that plus that equals minim and 2 crotchets, or equal to 4 beat. Then you put a bar line there. Then that, finishing with that double bar line. Okay, hopefully you got that. So please make sure you have checked your work. If you didn't get in many of these, if at all, please ask your teacher for clarification, or go back through the video to make sure you know where you went wrong. Okay, so we are going to make a start on our next unit, which is, the heading is called, let me just bring it up, whole, half, and quarter rests. Okay? I'm going to put the heading here. Whole, half, and quarter rests. So far, all we've taught you are notes. Okay? How many beats notes are worth, and when placed on a line or a space, make a certain pitch. Okay? But what if you as a composer wants some silence at one point? So far we haven't taught you that. So we are teaching you the whole, half, and quarter rest. So we know that, actually I'm just going to go off the staff. We know that this is a whole note or a semibreve, which equals 4 beats. When you see one of these along a stave, it tells you to hold a certain pitch for 4 beats. But if we want silence for 4 beats, we have what we call a whole note rest, or a whole rest, or a semibreve rest. That is also worth 4 beats. Okay? So if I went along the 5 lines, I'll just draw it here, just so I don't have to go back to the 5 lines. I would draw it along here, the 4th line. When we see one of these, that means we are silent for 4 beats. Let's take a look at a half rest. So we've got a minim, which, as we know, or should know, that this is worth 2 beats. All right? The equivalent rest for that, or the silence, is one of these, which looks like a hat, which incidentally, the 4-beat one, or the whole rest, looked like an upside down hat. When we place it on the 5 lines, it looks like this, on the middle line. Finally, we have the crotchet rest. We've been taught a crotchet, or a quarter note, which was 1 beat. The equivalent rest, which looks like a squiggly line, but the easiest way to draw this is a backwards 3 with a stem at the top like that, or a flag. Okay? That kind of squiggly line is called a crotchet rest. That is worth 1 beat. So, I hope that makes sense. Anytime you see a note or a rest, it will add up to whatever the time signature is. So I'm just going to go back to the stave. Like I said, you have been taught notes and rests now, and a combination of that can be used. So, for example, I was given a treble clef, and then I was given a time signature of 4/4. What can you do after that? You can use a combination. So, for example, got a crotchet here, which is worth 1 beat, but I want a rest here, okay, which is worth 1 beat as well, and a crotchet here, 1 beat, 1 beat of a rest. That's 1 beat, that's 1 beat, that's 1 beat, and that is 1 beat. Therefore, it totals to 4 beats, and you put a bar line after that. All right, another example could be a minim over here with a minim rest. 2 beats plus 2 beats equal 4, therefore put a bar line. Okay, that bit at the end is what will count as a bar line. Then you have a whole rest. Pretend this is continuing on, and we've got a whole rest. This is worth 4 beats, therefore we put a bar line. We can't put any more notes or any other rest because that already totals to 4 beats, just like a whole note or a semi-breve. Alright, I hope that makes sense. You can finish with a double bar line as well. So you can use notes and rests when making music. So keeping in mind, anywhere along the 5 lines or spaces these notes can go to give you certain pitches, keeping in mind where the stems go. But that means, when you see a rest, you don't play anything. There is dead silence for however many beats it is worth. So if I did this, let me actually show you what I would do here. And then I'm actually going to extend this and put a whole note here and then finish it. Okay? So, oops. There. All right. So, if I put it to time, remember, the rests have to go for as long as those rests, how many beats those rests are worth. So, for example, you can see 1 beat of note on C, silence, A, silence, 2 beats of D, silence for 2 beats, then 4 beats silence, then 4 beats there. So this is almost the beginning of composition, which we'll be looking at in next term. Okay, hope you can hear that. I'm going to give myself a count in, and this is what it's going to sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. Rest. 1, 2. Rest. 2. Then rest. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay? Hope that makes sense, that we actually put notes and rests in between to make some note, some sound, and some silence. 1, let me do it again. 3, 4. Rest, rest, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now you can see that I went on from here straight to here. That's 2 beats plus 4 beats. That was 6 beats of silence then. Alright? Now I'm going to do it again one last time, but listen to it without me counting out loud and see if you can work out why I'm doing silence. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, hope that makes sense. If you don't understand, please ask for help.